Just some star jumps. I worked at Downview for 6 years. Prior to that, Wormwood Scrubs and Holloway. I was at Downview when it was decided to build a unit within the grounds for young women aged 15 to 18 years. The unit opened and was named after Josephine Butler, a feminist, a social reformer, a campaigner for women's suffrage and for the abolition of child prostitution. She also fought for better education for women. Hence really why that unit was named that, because they thought that giving young women different opportunities would assist them into their adult life. Downview and the Josephine Butler unit is for women and should never allow male prisoners beyond its gates. Having worked in men's prisons for half of my service, I know how men will do or say almost anything to get something they want. They claim to be Jehovah's Witnesses to get hot chocolate, Muslim to get food during Ramadan, violent or racist to get a single cell. Yeah, and yet, you know, this prisoner may have been in 6 months before and has quite happily, you know, had a cellmate and has not been violent, and they may have been black and they weren't racist. So this is something that, you know, men, the lengths that men will go to, you know, at the drop of a hat and you know, if it suits them at the time to have a single cell. They claim to be women to gain access to women. Women's prisons have a much more relaxed regime. They are all single cell accommodation. Women get duvets, have curtains. Women's prisons do not run courses for men's offending behaviour. Nothing to address violent or sex offending men. And we know the number of men claiming to be women and demanding that they are transferred to the women's prison who are sex offenders. The prison service has allowed itself to be manipulated and conditioned by these men. They are failing women and have a total disregard for women's fears, safety and their well-being. A woman who claims to be a man will not be placed in a men's prison because the men will not buy that woman is a man. They will see her as a woman because she is a woman and therefore unsafe and vulnerable around men. Yet women in a women's prison are told to accept a man who says he is a woman. This is coercive and gaslighting. We all know that just one man entering a woman's space completely changes the dynamics of that space. When I worked at Wormwood Scrubs, I set up a women's football team, and I wanted a day in the week, a lunchtime in the week, to have that sort of get together with women or whatever to play football. And I was told that football got played on a Friday, and I said, well, that's when the men do it. I said, well, the women can play as well. Well, no, we don't want to. We want to have our own hour of women's football, and a lot of women are put off by having to play football with men, and I wanted to encourage women who'd never played before, who wanted to get together, have a bit of fun, learn how to sort of like play and get fit, etc. So after a lot of